Hey guys, today we're going through another exercise on the malware traffic analysis.net. This video will be a series, so hope you guys enjoy it. So let's get started. The exercise we're going to working on today is the WOKEMOUNTAIN, and it's coming out from at January 21st. So let's go into the scenario. I haven't done this before, and but I will try my best to find everything I can. So basically, you just need to write a IR report for your funding. So we're gonna download this 2-zip file first. So we got a pcap file, and we also got a Ids Alerts file. So we're gonna extract them to the desktop. By the way, I use Kali Linux as my investigation VM. So because it will be easier for me to just navigating in the Kali. Because I tried the Security Onion yesterday, and it getting really slow later. So I want to use Kali Linux, so it might be a little bit faster to use Kali. So all the traffic from the zip file from the malware traffic analysis.net is encrypted with the password infected. And we see we have this Wireshark traffic. So I believe that in Kali you need to start this Wireshark as root. So, and you also got this folder for your investigation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from the Ids Alerts first, because it is a good idea to get a overall image first, and going deeper later for the corresponding IP address in the alerts. And I'm also going to prepare a folder for our investigation, so it will be much more organized. So we have this IR report in here, and if we go into that folder, we're gonna create a couple files for me. So I just love to keep everything organized. So we got node.txt, and we also got the IR report.txt. Okay. So everything should be nice and neat. So let's start this, and also start this. Okay. So we got 3 files. We can see that everything is ready to go. So we got this, and so let's looking at the Ids Alerts first. So we see that I think the best way, I think the first we need to read the scenario, right? So the LAN SageMain range is at 10.1.21.0/24. So that is our company's LAN IP range, and we got this domain WOKEMOUNTAIN.com, and we got the domain controller at 10.1.21.2 WOKEMOUNTAIN -DC, and we also got the LAN SageMain gateway. It's 10.1.21.1, and we also got this broadcast address. And as a security analyst, what you need to do is you need to write instant report based on the pcap and the alerts. 3 major components for your report. It's executive summary. So basically you need to write when, who, what, so what happened in a very simple way, and you need to give the details, hostname, IP address, MAC address, and the Windows user account, and you got the IOC, IP address, domain URLs, and the any malware binaries. So that is basically what security analysts do. They just writing this report and for an incident. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a basic IR report, because there's definitely a lot more you can do, but this will be just an exercise for me to experience and learning with Wireshark. So let's dig into the IDS. So the IDS, we can see that this alerts over here, and we got this first alert. You have the two colors. The first, the color was being divided into the red and orange. So I believe that the red color is represents as critical, and the orange is medium. So it's not as critical as the red one. But the first alert, we see that we have this destination IP address, and it is in our LAN range, so we can show that it is one of our workstation in our company, and we have this IP address. This was being redirected to the IPv4 address, but we are not sure why. So moving to the next one, with the same IP address, we see that our workstation was being communicating with this same IP address on the port 80. And we have these malwares. The malware was being dropped. So I believe that this is the user somehow download this malware, and the malware initiate the communication with this attacker's IP, attacker's C2 server. So that's my assumption for now, but we can definitely do more investigation later. And we see that with this same IP address, this malware continuously downloaded more executable to the workstation, and we see we have this PE file, MZ. So MZ in Windows represents the PE file. So we also got this. So now we're moving to this slide, this alert. So we got this different IP address communicating on the port 443. We got this communicated with this IP address on the DNS port 53, DNS lookup, and we also got a couple more IP address. It's also this malware, Panda Banker. So we got all these alerts. So from here we can collecting some basic information first, because here we already have a lot of very valuable information. So let's just write them down. What I would like to do is that I would like to writing down the IOC first. So because we are not sure 100% for now, but we're gonna because it's coming out from the IDS, so I'm going to write all of them down, because it's always a good idea to not miss anything important. So we got this IP address at the first IP address, this 209. This one is definitely malicious because it downloads the malware, and we got this we got this IP address as well. So you got 72.21.81.200, yes. And you got this 208.67.222.222. Okay. You got this 162.0.224.165, and you got this this one is these two IP addresses are definitely malicious because they download the Panda Banker. So as a security analyst, our job is to collecting the IOC, and if you're working a SOC, potentially you need to write this for your clients and report all this IOC to your IR system. So that's what you do. So we got this IP address, and next we are going to writing down our victims IP address, right? So the task is asking us to collecting the IP address, some information for the victim, right? So we got the IP address. The IP address is 10.1.21.101, so that is the workstation being infected. And we have this, we believe we need to collecting the host name as well. We are not sure yet, and we have this this MAC address as well. So and the user account, right? So those are the information we need to collecting as a security analyst. So I'm going to open this PCAP file I opened early. So we see that what I would also like to do is that whenever we're doing the Wireshark, it's always a good idea to have the display fader, the cheat sheet on the side, so we can quickly reference all this cheat sheet we might need. So this packetlife.net, this cheat sheet is pretty good. So you can reference it. Basically, it has all these protocols, how to investigating with the display fader. So but I think the best way to start, what I usually do is that I usually start with we have all this traffic over here. So what I usually like to do is, we see the time over here right now is just display this time. It's not very useful. So what you want to do is you want to basically change the time to the time that we can understand. So in the UTC time is is a standard time. So I'm going to use the UTC time as our display time, and there is also a function we might need later. Is this view named resolution resolve network addresses. So it will be translate all the IP address to the corresponding URL if there is one. So let's look at some HTTP requests first, because what I observed that is that their malware downloaded some executable to the workstation. So we can collecting some information about this. I'm going to add this display fader to the label. So for the later use, we don't have to type every time. But we can see we have this layer. We have this layer 1, and we have this layer 2, layer 3, layer 4, and we got this layer 7. So in Wireshark, it's really important for you to understand the OSI model, because everything listed over here is based on the OSI model. Besides, there is a session layer and the presentation layer was not listed over here, because I believe that in the new year TCP/IP model, the session layer and the presentation layer was being removed. That's what I believe. So I think. So let's collecting some useful information for the victim first. So we're going to look the layer 2. So the layer 2 is basically will tell you the MAC address for the device. So our source is this device. So we see that we have this device over here, and it got this MAC address. So we're gonna copy it, right? So we're gonna copy it, and we're gonna just delete this extra string we don't need. Excuse me, sorry. If you guys curious what this is, because sometimes the MAC address, excuse me, sorry, will review the vendor. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what kind of device this is. Yeah, it's this brand, ACER. So this is the workstation we're dealing with. So we got this ACER workstation, right? Was being infected by the malwares, and if you want to look up the corresponding host name, you can just use this name resolution. So after we apply that, we see that I believe I need to like do it again. So we can see that we have this desktop over here. So host name is desktop it's MB72 TZA. So you got this workstation in our Active Directory, so WOKEMOUNTAIN.com. So that is our domain. So now this is all we can get right now, and we need to doing some investigation for the malware we observed early. So what I would like to do is that we can go into the investigate IP by IP based on the alerts. So the first IP I would like to investigating is 209.141.51.196. So if we can go in there to, if we there's functions in the Wireshark. It's called conversation, and it's basically tells you all the conversation happening between the endpoints. So I'm going to filter the IP address, so it will be easier for me to navigate. But the IP address we're looking for is this 209.141. So this one is what we're looking for. So you can right click your mouse and just apply the prepare as a filter. I want to look at the both direction, and this will give us first filter. So I'm gonna do like 209 filter. Okay, so I do not have to like click it later, so I can use this as our filter. So let's see what we can what information we can collect in. We see that we have this this GET requests, and we have some communication was going in between the port 80 on the malicious website and to our host. So the URL, we can see that we got this URL over here, so we can collecting that URL to our notes, so to our IR report. So we want to go into the layer 3, right? So we got this source address. The source address, we want to copy all the visible tree items, and we can put over here, and right, so we have this, and if you want to give more details, like what kind of malware was being distributed, we can see that like this Turkish, I'm not exactly sure what kind of malware was that, but this is definitely some malware. I'm not sure if this is the malware's name, but like we can write it down to for the as our notes, so it's give some information. It's always it's better than nothing, right? So you need to give some as much details as you can, like for your clients. So you got this started quad, yeah. So that is potentially that's the malware name. So right, so I'm gonna like search this very quick if it's actually a malware. I don't think this is a malware, but like it's someone tweeted this. It's actually yeah, the Brad is actually the author for the malware traffic analysis.net. Let's see what he says on there. So yeah, so this is definitely malicious, and I'm just gonna put like this, so we can always going back later. So I'm gonna also write down the zbot. So zbot, right? Some zbot malware, and we have yeah, I'm not sure like what kind of definitely there's some VB script is going on in here, so I'm gonna write it down. Yeah, so you guys got this idea. So you just need to like going to look up, really just see. There's another function in the statistics. So in the HTTP requests, you can looking for all the HTTP requests was being made by the host. So we can see that the URL we had earlier, it is actually it is not showing in here, but we have this workstation. Oh yeah, so this is a subdomain, right? So it is still there. It's just in the subdomain. So right? So yeah, this does not translate to the to in the HTTP requests, but in back to our traffic, we see that the URL is actually the URL is actually this one, so we can just write that down. And moving to the next next IP address we observed is this 72.21.81.200. So we wanna going back to our Wireshark, and we can follow the conversation again, looking the statistics. So we're gonna look in the Wireshark again, and we can follow that IP address to prepare it as a feeder. So we have 72.21.81.200, right? So we can feeder this, prepare as a feeder on the both direction, right? So I want to add it as my label. So 72 feeder, right? So I know I can use it later, right? So so we got this IP address, but we see that the traffic here seems like encrypted traffic. If we follow the TCP string, we see that we have those like URL, but they're normal. I think they're normal web traffic. So all this traffic was being encrypted if you do not have the keys. So nothing we can observe over here, but all we can do, I think, is just writing down the domain URL. So we can verify later if it's actually malicious or not, just for now. So we just write down this URL over here. Gosh, sorry. I just pushed the wrong button, so on my Kali. So sorry about that. On my host. So we got this URL over here, and we gonna move into the next IP address. So the next IP address is 208. This IP address, right? So it made a DNS lookup. Made a DNS lookup. So 208. See if we can find the corresponding URL, right? So statics. Let's see, 208. So we're gonna just prepare this as a feeder. Wait, yeah, right. So this is like a DNS server. I got like a resolver over here. So I wanna get that information as well, because any information is valuable in an instant. So we got this IP address and the URL. It's basically a DNS, right? So and we have this 162 I'm going to add this like DNS 208, right? So, and the next one is starts with 162. 162 you see here. So we wanna going back to our Wireshark. We're gonna looking back to our conversation again, and this IP address, I believe, is what we are looking for. So you prepare the fader in both direction, and you gonna hit enter. So host 162. So collecting the URL, right? So usually that's what you do. You got this server server 1, so over here, so collecting its URL very quick, right? And you got this last two IP addresses. They are definitely they're malicious, and they are malicious traffic. So so I believe I can just like look in between of them. So you got this URL over here. I just replaced this IP address to our display fader, so I don't have to going back to the conversation to click it. So you got this URL over here, right? And you got this IP address in the display fader. So this is the display fader. You can fader the both direction, and we got another URL. It's pretty similar to the one we had before, but it's the number is 3 early, but we have this 4 over here. So it's definitely malicious and from the same IP, from the same similar URL. So we got all this IP address, and one more thing I want to check is make sure we gathered all these IP addresses in our to looking at some if there any URL it's looks weird to us. So we got this Windows updates. I think this is legit, and we have Microsoft. It's definitely legit, and we got this. This one is malicious. I think malicious. We got like a Great Wall Firewall.xyz. I'm not sure if that is malicious or not. I don't think that's normal to see this kind of URL. So what I'm going to do is I'm not sure if this is actually malicious or not. So actually, I think there is a feature you can use to find the URLs you think that is malicious in the Wireshark contains. Yeah, so you can use the HTTP contains. Right, so I don't think I can copy it. So GREAT, Great Wall Firewall.xyz. So Great Wall Firewall.xyz. Oh shit. I'm not sure how to like you can look at the HTTP host. So my bad. So you got this HTTP host. Let's see if that can lead us to something. Okay, so Great Wall Firewall. I'm not sure if I typed. I believe I missed that E. So it's so this one is, I want to say, check if the HTTP requests looks normal to me. We got this post fix. I'm not sure if this, but we got this this data in here. I'm not sure if this is actually malicious, to be honest, but this URL looks weird to me. So I'm gonna to write it down for now and doing more investigation later, because it looks really weird, this URL. So, and we have going back to the request again. So there's some any malicious URL, you should write it down and doing more investigation later. So you have some malicious binaries. You definitely want to gather them later. So you have this one.bin, right? You have this LK 90DZ, right? You got this, and you have this this file over here. It also looks pretty weird. So grab 32 the RAR. Let's see if we have any other malicious executable. Apparently I didn't see any though, so let's see if we can find something in this general HTTP request. Okay, so this one is definitely malicious. This is the IP address we found early. I want to see what kind of user agent this IP address was being this IP address has. So it's Mozilla Mozilla 5/4.0. So the user agent looks fine. Let's say the Great Wall Firewall. Yeah, the Great Wall Firewall one definitely looks pretty odd. Let's see, because you want to check the user agent sometimes. Sometimes user agent might include some really helpful information. Some tools, like attacker tools, sometimes it will be the attacker's tools information will be included in the user agent. So I don't think there is any anything I can find for now. But we will coming back later, I think. So now you got this. You have this files. What we want to do is we want to extract them. So what you can do is you got this export objects. So the Wireshark gives you the options to extract all the binaries. So we definitely want to extract these two. We see we have like a 5 bytes, and we have this this second one. So we want to extract this. I'm gonna to put on my desktop IR report. I'm gonna to create a new folder called IOC. So I'm gonna store this over there, and I'm gonna also store this over here. So this might be like a agent was being downloaded first to the workstation, and that agent make another request to download the second stage of the malware. So a lot of times this is being done. So it can potentially to invade the antivirus. So a lot of times the malware will be dropped at the first stage, and making another request to download more download second stage and run them in the memory. So so we have this this YAML file. This YAML file looks definitely malicious. I don't know if it's malicious or not, but we got this semantic. I don't think the semantic one is malicious. But it does not show in our there's some binaries, like some binaries does not really show in our HTTP object exports. So I'm not sure. There are a couple one we cannot see it. So we got this collected, and we want to collecting the SHA-256 on them, right? So you can use SHA-256 sum, right? So you I'm gonna go into that folder very quick. So you got this IOC. You can collect it to your as your IOC, and you have these two. I cannot find any of them. So in the HTTP objects export, so I'm not sure why is I think I exported this one as well. So, but let me see, binary. I need to check back my just checking. I want to make sure that I actually downloaded everything. So my Wireshark is getting like, not sure why, but yeah, my Wireshark is freezed. I'm gonna pause my video for a second. Alright guys, we are back. So my Wireshark for some reason was freezed. So so I have went back to the traffic for the first traffic I have seen, and this IP address 209, and I cannot find anything, and I'm not sure why I cannot really extract this. This binary is definitely malicious, but for some reason I cannot really extract it. But I think for the next step really is for us to verify if it's actually malicious or not. So let's see what we can find on the VirusTotal, right? VirusTotal is really helpful for any malicious stuff we are not sure. So we can submit this SHA. It's actually clean. It's actually clean. I'm not sure why. So it's actually clean. So we can looking for some IP address. Some IP address definitely they're malicious. So this one. It is only being detected for like it's not very it was being detected, but it seems like was not being detected by the majority of the antivirus. So I mean, like, you can go into the thread crowd, right? So like this kind of stuff is gonna be really helpful for you to search. It's run by the Alien Vault, so in case you guys don't know that, you can check to see 209.141.51.16. There is nothing over here, and we can check any.run, right? Any.run is basically it is a platform like to checking your malware. But yes, so we have this IP address, but it seems like 51.196. So my IP address got it right, but it seems like this was not being detected by the majority of the antivirus engines. I'm not sure if it has already been taken down. So let's check for some other IP address on the VirusTotal. It only has like one antivirus engine detected it. So yeah, so let's check these two. I think these two definitely they're malicious because okay, so it seems like we got some IP address was not being detected by the VirusTotal. So we also got this, right? Yeah, this one is clean. It shows clean, but actually reality is not clean. It is not clean at all. Yeah. Okay, so that is the basic idea for this traffic analysis. I want to see if that string was actually being submitted by the public to the any.run. Yeah, somebody actually already submitted this to the any.run, and apparently it shows not malicious. Okay, so not malicious. So basically, any.run is all really helpful for your instance response. It really depends on how sensitive your instance response is. Sometimes if the instance response phase involves in some sensitive information. You might not want to use VirusTotal or the any.run, so you want to do it and analyze it on your local host, so that the sensitive information will not be shared. So the last step, I would like to write a executive summary. So yeah, I always have this bad memory to the English word. So executive summary, right? So I just gonna copy it. So executive summary. I'm not sure the user. I want to see if I can find the user account very quick, because that is something I think important to look at. So yeah, so I wanna see if I can find the user account. I'm not sure why it's not giving me the answer I want. So I follow the TCP stream from the first one. Yes, this is like a PE file, definitely malicious, but I'm not sure. Like, I think I can extract from here, but yeah, I can definitely extracting this PE file from here, but I'm trying to find out like the user account. So I'm not sure if I should like this is like a Microsoft page. So this looks weird, but I'm not sure if it's malicious. It did not show me that the username, because it is important to get that username, to be honest. But I'm not sure why I cannot find it. This is like a big issue, I think. I have this file over here. Let's look in the HTTP request very quick. Yeah, I can't really see where this stuff is, but let's just like really just write down like executive summary for now, and Windows user account name. Yeah. So we can give some basic information based on the time. We can see that at HTTP, the first very interaction this workstation is with that URL starts with 209 as say in the IDS. So we can see that at 2021 January 20 at 23.40.38 UTC time. The workstation in our organization was being compromised, was infected, right? So was infected by the malwares. And if you want to give more details on this, you can say that it was being infected by the malwares, and yeah, I think for the executive summary, you can just give this. It will be enough, I think. So the workstation in our organization was infected by the malwares. So a couple other things I want to add. Besides the user account, I cannot really see it for now, but for the other one, for these two IP addresses, we can give more details over here, right? So you can give Zeus Panda Banker, right? Both of these IP address was downloaded this malware. So right, so and this one we have already done it. Yeah, I want to double check if this grid firewall.xyz is actually malicious, so I'm not really sure about it. Yeah, it's actually was being detected by the Fortinet as malware, so it's definitely a URL we should like add it as our IOC. I want to double check if we can find more information. Yeah, so that is all for today. That is all the information I can find for now, and I highly encourage you guys to going to play this with yourself and writing down a basic IR report. This is really gonna be helpful for you to improve to learn about Wireshark and have some basic report writing skills to practice. So thank you guys for watching this video, and I will making more video next time on the malware traffic analysis.net. So see you guys next time.